Welcome to the deep dive. Big anniversary this week, 35 years since the Hubble Space Telescope launched, back on April 24th, 1990.
35 years. It's incredible.
Yeah, and we know you listening want to, get the important stuff quickly. So this seems like a great chance to really unpack Hubble's story, especially now.
Exactly. And our mission today really is to look at Hubble's impact through these, frankly, stunning new images NASA just put out for the anniversary.
Right, like a visual guide to its legacy.
Pretty much. We'll hit the highlights, drawing from the NASA releases and news reports, give you the context behind these amazing pictures.
Okay, let's do it. So Hubble, 35 years, and it's still working up there, still making discoveries.
It is genuinely remarkable, and the numbers, they just speak for themselves. We're talking nearly 1.7 million observations.
Wow.
Focusing on about, 55,000 different astronomical targets?
It's a lot of looking around.
It is, and it's led to over 22,000 research papers. Think about the science that's come out of that data. I mean, it was pivotal for nailing down the accelerating expansion of the universe.
Oh, right. The dark energy discovery basically relied on Hubble's precise measurements, didn't it?
Absolutely. Observing those distant supernovae with unprecedented accuracy, that fundamentally shifted cosmology. It wasn't just a minor tweak.
Yeah, that's definitely worldview-changing stuff. And I saw a quote from Sean Goldman at NASA. He said, Hubble opened a new window to the universe.
That's a perfect way to put it, because it wasn't just about snapping pretty pictures, though they are incredibly inspiring, aren't they?
They really are.
But the data behind them, it consistently threw up surprises, revealing details about the very first galaxies forming, giving us these amazing views of planets, even in our own solar system, things we just couldn't see from the ground.
Mm-hmm. Different perspectives entirely.
Exactly. It's advanced so many different areas of astronomy.
And Goldman also made a point about what Hubble teaches us for the future, right? About these big long-term missions.
Yes, that's crucial. Hubble's longevity is a testament to the value of these flagship observatories.
Right.
And everything learned from building it, launching it, those incredibly complex servicing missions.
Oh, yeah. The servicing missions were amazing feats in themselves.
They were. All that experience directly informs how NASA and others are planning future telescopes, like the Habitable Worlds Observatory. It's proof that investing in this kind of long-term science infrastructure really pays off.
And it's not just NASA, is it? This is always a partnership.
That's right, a joint project between NASA and ESA, the European Space Agency. It's a fantastic example of international collaboration, pooling resources, expertise. You achieve more together.
Okay, so Hubble, certified legend, decades of work, still contributing. Let's pivot to the visuals, these new anniversary images.
Yes, let's. Prepare yourself. Some of these are really quite something. We can start close to home, relatively speaking. Mars.
But the picture looks blue, not the usual red planet. What's going on there?
Isn't that striking? So this image was taken late last year, December 2024. And that blue tint, it's thanks to Hubble's ability to see in ultraviolet light.
Ultraviolet?
Yeah. What you're actually seeing are very thin clouds high up in the Martian atmosphere made of water ice crystals. These clouds reflect UV light in a way that makes them appear blue in this kind of composite image.
Huh. So it's revealing a layer of the atmosphere we don't normally see in visible light photos.
Exactly that. A fleeting atmospheric phenomenon captured because Hubble can look beyond just visible light.
Pretty neat, eh?
Very neat. A blue Mars moment. All right, what else is in this new gallery?
Okay, moving further out, we've got a planetary nebula,
Yeah.
NGC 2899. Now, just to clarify for everyone, a planetary nebula isn't actually about planets.
Right, confusing name. It's a dying star shedding its layers, isn't it?
Precisely. It's the glowing gas cast off by a star like our sun in its final stages. And this one, NGC 2899, is described as looking like a colorful, almost moth-shaped orb, a cosmic moth. Okay, I can sort of see that. What creates that specific shapes and all the colors?
Well, the shape is sculpted by the complex outflow of radiation and stellar winds coming from the dying star at the center. Now, a tiny, super dense white dwarf. These outflows push the expelled gas outwards, but often not uniformly. Sometimes there are jets, or maybe the star is part of a binary system influencing the shape. It creates these intricate, often symmetrical patterns. The colors come from different elements in the gas glowing as they're energized by the white dwarf's radiation.
So we're literally watching the kind of sculpted remnants of a star's final breath. That's quite poetic.
It really is. Beautiful, but also tells us a lot about stellar evolution.
Okay, what's next on the visual tour?
Something quite different in mood. A section of the Rosette Nebula. This one looks dark and stormy.
Dark and stormy in space. How does that work? Nebulae are usually bright clouds of gas, right?
Well, the Rosette Nebula overall is a huge, bright, star-forming region. But this image zooms in on a particular part of it. What look like dark, sort of turbulent clouds are actually incredibly dense areas of cold hydrogen gas mixed with lots of dust.
Ah, so they're blocking the light from behind.
Exactly. They're so thick with gas and dust that they create these dramatic silhouettes against the brighter background nebula or stars further away. And importantly, these dark clouds, they're stellar nurseries, the raw material for new stars.
Wow. So we went from stellar death with NGC 2899 to stellar birth here in the Rosette.
That's a great way to put it, seeing both ends of the stellar life cycle.
Amazing contrast. Okay, one more image you mentioned. A galaxy.
Yes, the Galaxy NGC 5335. This one's classified as a flocculent spiral galaxy.
Flocculent, what does that mean?
It basically means fluffy or patchy. So instead of having really grand, clearly defined spiral arms, its arms look more fragmented, almost like tufts of wool, feathery.
Okay, a fluffy galaxy, got it.
And the Hubble image shows these patchy streamers where stars are actively forming, scattered through its disk. But maybe the most noticeable feature is the bar.
Right, you can see this clear bar structure right across the center. What to do with those bars in galaxies?
They're actually quite common in spiral galaxies. It's a big, elongated structure made of stars and gas stretching out from the core. And they're not just static, they play a big role in how the galaxy evolves.
Also.
Well, the bar acts sort of like a funnel. Its gravity helps channel gas from the outer parts of the galaxy inwards, towards the center.
Oh, okay.
And that can fuel star formation in the central region or feed the supermassive black hole that we think lurks at the heart of most big galaxies. So seeing that bar tells us something about the galaxy's internal dynamics.
It's incredible how much science is packed into one photograph.
Yeah.
You know, blue tinge on Mars tells us about clouds. A nebula's shape reveals a star's death throes. Dark patches signal birth. A bar shows how a whole galaxy works.
Absolutely. These aren't just pretty space pictures, they are data. They provide those aha moments you were talking about, helping us piece together how the universe operates.
And it all comes back to Hubble's main job, right? Which is just...
And fundamentally understanding the universe, that's the mission.
And for 35 years, using its instruments that see in ultraviolet, visible near-infrared light, it's delivered these, what one source called worldview-shattering photos.
That's a good description. It really has. Hubble keeps shaping our basic understanding of the cosmos, answering old questions, and just as importantly, raising new ones.
So wrapping this up then, 35 years on, Hubble's still a powerhouse. These new images are just the latest reminder of its incredible capabilities and the science it unlocks.
From our own solar system backyard out to distant galaxies, yeah, it's quite a legacy.
And for you listening, maybe the final thought is this. Just consider how being able to see these things, the ice clouds on Mars, the structure of a dying star's last gasp, the birthplaces of stars, the vast architecture of galaxies, how that changes our perspective on everything, on our own little place in it all.
And what discoveries are still waiting out there? From Hubble, from Webb, from the telescopes yet to come. Maybe take a few minutes after this deep dive, look up these specific images online, NGC 2899, the blue Mars, and just let that cosmic scale sink in a bit.
A little bit of cosmic perspective.
Oh,
Always a good thing.